Bahaito, welcome back. Conversation is all about calling knockout. Ugesi sukufakile wafisa mstulu. But before we bolela ka dilo tse bae, a re check gore lunga ba motshwaretseng ka tha ko strateng.
Ngiyabonga Likoko. Uthini uMavesta awungitsheli lokho mara mina namhlanje ngikutshela lokho ke isigaxa sendaba with unokulunga intokazi enhle yakwaThenjwe kwayo. Bafethi nizwile ukuthi the Court of Arbitration for Sports has thrown out the request of Royal AM ukuthi ba overturn iFIFA ban. Angiunderstand ukuthi uMamkhize wayangayikhiphi le 12 million aphume intweni because already sesiyazi ukuthi umphathi wemali kodwa awubhadali ikoloto. Speaking of ukubhadala, Tina on Friday sibuye ubhadala i-rent eGqeberha when South Africa was playing with Congo Brazzaville. Baphuma ngo-5-0. Ungaqamba manga nawo bomangeli. Kodwa at the same time we are very very proud. Mara bafana base Congo Brazzaville bathi lalelani. Second leg, you're not going to do that. So on Tuesday they were playing again with Bafana Bafana. Score sathi 1-1 ngathi akuhambanga kahle mara niyazi ukuthi abantu bahlezi bekhuluma ama-fans basho ukuthi mara the pitch was artificial, so the momentum of the game was not going to pick up the very same way if it was with normal grass. But kwenzekile Bafana has to do it the hard way now, as it is unfortunate that they didn't qualify as yet. Mara amanye ama-team nawo sewasibekile isitulo sabo saseMorocco for 2025. Sicelebrateile saphinda futhi sakhuluma ngezikolodo zabantu manje isikhathi ukuthi sithi ukuhleka kancane because nothing makes me laugh like Kaiser Chiefs banter, guys. So Kaiser Chiefs was playing Kufa Cup with Marimo Gallants at Free State and Kaiser Chiefs yawina. Mara into engihlekisayo ukuthi ayikho i-team abangayithathi serious njenge Kaiser Chiefs because iyadliwa niyahleka, iyawina futhi niyahleka futhi. Angazi kwasho kwacima kuthiwa icup ngathi iyenziwe i-project ya grade 5 for i-technology. Angazi abanye bathi ini, but mina into engishoyo ukuthi guys, can you just let it be? I mean, Kaiser Chiefs won and it's a step in the right direction. Into benifuna ngithi for 9 years yonke into benifuna, but now it's happening and there's so much banter around it. I understand it's funny, but it's quite disappointing also coming from the fans of Kaiser Chiefs. Ngiphoxile. Mara ukuphoxeka kwamakusizi ngoba isikhathi sami sesiphelile ayathi ngidlulise kubaphathi bendawo mina ngithi tswe njengomavesta.
It's all about fa kidikufa. Awuqala ungabolela ka trophy tsa Kaiser Chiefs. Esi
sure.
Ubuletse ka team ya how is unbeatable.
Yeah.
But you are not mentioning the fact that habajiwa le habato start winner. There's a change that happened. There's a particular player that came into the fray and Wamotseba, your goalkeeper.
Point in reference into the conversation before you can even speak about Ronan. The change obviously was bigger, which was the coach. You understand? When that happens, it disturbs the team. We also have to talk about that. On top of that, you're talking about Ronan Williams, who was not there, who was injured through a shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, Ron went in element. Yeah, you're right.
That's a fact. We can't deny that. And of course, that disturbed the team. But the bigger conversation for me is Urulan when he left, and Mangoba comes and wants to play a new system. Of course, psychologically, the player is still trying to adjust, and we cannot dismantle that and walk away from it. But at the end of the day, it does tell you that a Sundowns has an issue in terms of introducing new goalkeepers and inserting them into the team to play exactly what Williams has done. And do not walk away from the Williams conversation. Look at what he does in the national team in terms of playing from the back. Very motor. We can talk about it. You know, you look at all those incidents, it speaks volumes. It's not only at Sundowns. He's quite a key player.
Williams seems like it's a very important player for both national team and to key playmaker. And you know, win the trophy, go congratulate. But before, TS Galaxy he's done well in the previous, the previous edition of Mkanet Bank Cup. Rumonia Dala Sharp, Team went further than we anticipated. This time around, are we giving him that chance as well?
They've got a number for TS Galaxy. They've been beating that team.
And actually, while you're on TS this season,
yeah. If you look at the cup performance between the two, you will see that I think they did knock TS out of the Nedbank. They've already beaten them now in the league. Now they're going to be playing them again. So I think Kwanele and Chipa United team, they seems to do very well against TS. They always get the points.
Richards Bay dlala lisikhukhuni Lufuno. Quickly let's wrap because I know you can't wait to get into the cup winners.
I'll give Skukune a win on that game in terms of the personnel, in terms of players that they have. I think they've got a better team compared to Richards Bay. Richards Bay have a new coach. I think he's still finding himself as well.
Let's get into Lufuno's team. Remo fair chance. SC Kaiser Chiefs, Reboni ba lift the Papa Wawa trophy. Ba win. Is there a confidence booster in terms of moving into this actual cup game that Batosena Moya? Because Reboni coach Nabi na complain already the fixture gar di bangata.
Look, I don't know why Coach Nabi was complaining because he was complaining because of the league had went into a pause, international break, of course. But at the end of the day, needed minutes for the team, needed minutes for players that are not playing, needed minutes for probably play in terms of formations and schemes and how you go about trickling into this Carling Cup. And I think Kaiser Chiefs has started off well. You look at the game they played against Sundowns. They had Sundowns at the back foot for quite some time in that game. It tells you that what Nabi has brought into a Kaiser Chiefs team is very interesting. You look at the two centre-backs, Inacho and Utodli. Two perfect players into their team. You trickle it down to a player that probably Lufuno is hoping that he's back, Userinho. You look at the game he played against Sundowns, it was such a beautiful game that he had. Prior to that, a game against Marumo Gallants, scoring and creating goals. Amazing player to have into the team. You've got young players in terms of Shabalala. The boy is good coming off on the wings and giving the players probably good passes. But the danger for me, when I look at a Kaiser Chiefs team, when I looked at them against the Sundowns, the only player that came into that team that used his left foot, it worries me that a Kaiser Chiefs doesn't have an offensive player that's able to put in final third passes into those 0 zones or 0-1 or zone 1 or zone 2 spaces. I mean, Mfundo Vilakazi is quite an interesting player to watch. You know, both comfortable on 2 feet. 2 feet. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Lufuno, the FIFA break, did it come at a bad time where you know how to build a momentum? I mean, when there was a time you guys, last 15 minutes, you'd want to build into that. Does that disrupt it? Kufa, Batlam, now you have to play French players and see what's happening. Momentum? Yeah,
look, it can be good, it can also be bad, you know, because, I mean, Chiefs haven't played a lot of games. So you would actually love for them to continue with the momentum. If you look at the game against Sundowns, you know, the intensity was very, very high. So you would like to go from that game and jump into the next game so that you can continue with the momentum. Unfortunately, we play in the international family where you will have, you know, international breaks where the national team will have to go and play. There are some couple of players that went into international, you know, to go and play there. You had Castillo, you had the goalkeeper. Dotley was also out, not gone for international, but they've played the Kufa. So what I was actually expecting, I thought the coach will actually come with a new team and give the players that haven't played. But he didn't do that. In fact, he came with almost 90% of the team that plays against Sundowns, so that he can continue with the momentum, looking at the game that he's going to play against SuperSport in Polokwane. So he's already preparing. So he wants more legs, you know, the guys to have more mileage in the legs so that they can be fit to play.
SC, quickly, represent Kaiser Chiefs, but is there no pressure on Coach Gavin Hunt to produce something right now? I mean, he's a guy that has won trophies for SuperSport.
Self-pressure, definitely. I don't think Stan Matthews is probably putting pressure on Gavin Hunt to say win something. I mean, he to use words probably for lack of vocabulary. He's been comfortable into that team, but I think personally he wants to win something. And I think playing against this team that he's playing, he wants to probably prove a point. If it is the conversation to say you want to prove a point, but of course, when you play a Kaiser Chiefs team, you want to prove yourself as a player as well.
When Kaiser Chiefs sneezes, the whole country catches flu. Bahaitu, that's how we wrap up the show, unfortunately. And like I've said to you earlier on, that metanyana ya competition, I want next week. I have to sort out the Remember to treat the people that you love right. Rabua next week. I never rock.